We have with us Dr. Horst Teltschik, an international consultant and a former national security advisor to former German Chancellor Helmut Kohl. You support a greater Russian integration into Europe. Why is that?
Well, Russia is, history tells us in Europe that Russia is a main player in Europe. Has been and still is. It's the strongest nuclear power worldwide besides the Americans. It's one of the strongest military powers in Europe so far. It has a hell lot of resources we are depending on, not only oil and gas, but titanium and other resources. And therefore it's our interest to establish close contacts with Russia. And vice versa. I'm absolutely convinced that Russia knows that they are dependent on us as well. And the best way to find an agreement is if both sides are dependent on one another. You see, if there are common interests. But we have to tell the Russians that there are common interests. Because still for the Russians the main yardstick are not the Europeans, are the Americans. And I think that's a wrong yardstick for Russia today.
You think it should be Europe?
It should be Europe because they face so many domestic problems that you can't, nobody is really convinced that Russia is a real military danger and still a world power. It's a big power, but if the European Union is moving ahead successfully, we are more than 500 million, vis-à-vis 140 million. Therefore, I think we are a natural partner to Russia, and therefore US is a yardstick for the discussions about nuclear arsenal and military things, but economically and politically we are the natural partner.
We have close economic ties with Russia, is what you're saying, and that's why we should work closer together.
Yeah, not only for economic reasons. You see, Russia was more or less in its whole history a dictatorship. The Tsars were more or less dictators. The Russians were never free people. There was only a short period before the revolution in 1917. Between 1905 and 1970 there was the beginning of free society, but just the beginning, and then the communist revolution started. Therefore, this country has to be developed in, not only in the direction of a market economy, but in the direction of democracy as well.
That's what Europe has to give to Russia, to help it develop.
Sure.
Yeah. What are the dangers if we don't integrate Russia more into the European economy?
Well, look at the Russian history. Russia was, in its history, always an imperialistic country. It was always an aggressive country, and if you push them into the corner, isolating them, you see, what will be the repercussion? They will look around to find other partners.
China?
China, well, China is at the end a rival, and it was always a rival, and Russians still believe China is not, will not be a close friend. It will remain a rival, even it could be an enemy. India, they tried hard during the communist time to establish close relations with India. It's not so easy yet, and therefore there's no alternative to Europe. And We are close allies with the Americans, therefore the Western alliance should be the main partner. And isolating Russia means that they will start to rebuild their army, their nuclear systems, and so on. And I think it's not in our interest.
Dr. Horst Teltschik, thank you for joining us today on INSEAD Knowledge.
Thank you.